Hey there, family. It's your girl, Angie B. Welcome to today's episode of Angie BEE Presents, where we will be chatting about the out-of-the-box fashion and hair show. Woo! I'm so excited.
Oh, hey there, family. It's your girl, Angie B, your round, yellow, busy little bumblebee for Christ, and I have been looking forward to this all day. I was just saying that I had to work today, I ministered today, well, I went to the beach today, but, I had a good day, but all throughout my day, today, Thursday, I was looking forward to hanging out with Princess Primrose Cameron. Oh, my God, how are you doing?
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. We've been trying to connect.
Right, for weeks.
Yeah, and you've been busy, and I've just been waiting on you, but it was for a good reason. It was for a good reason. So let me tell everybody, when I don't remember when I first met you. I think, shout out to Lisa Benitez. I think Lisa Benitez introduced me to you first because the tour that Angie BEE Presents had a weekend retreat in Daytona Beach at the Aquatique Inn. I give everybody my shout out. In January 2014. Yeah.
Over a year ago.
Oh my God.
Okay.
And so Lisa Benitez brought you, and we were buzzing so that I was able to say hi and bye. But the Lord spoke to me, and I stalked you for a little while on Facebook, and I finally got you to come back to be a mom at our October Moms in Ministry in 2014 at the Salvation Army.
After the pageant.
Oh, that's right.
Because I was the judge of the pageant.
That's right. You and my husband were judges at the Ms. and Mrs. Florida pageant with Pam Bolter. Shout out. Okay. And I saw you there, but couldn't really squeeze on. You couldn't say anything. But your reputation is wonderful. Lisa said that you got all these brains and all these degrees and everything, but your passion was modeling. And I looked at some of your pictures and, oh my goodness, you make clothes look wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
You do.
Yeah,
and so then when I heard you were doing a fashion show, I was like, wow, is she going to be in it? Or is she going to...
No.
Yeah.
No sneak peek.
And so we'll talk more about the fashion show later on. I'll give some more shout outs. But I have been wanting to sit down and find out what Cameron Enterprises is and who you are and that good looking man that you call a son that you raised. And okay, so I'm gonna have, so tell me what's your name and where you live and
Okay, so good stuff. My name is Primrose Cameron. So my graduate students is Dr. Primrose Cameron. So I have a background in counseling and family therapy.
Wow.
That's how I connected with Lisa, who's awesome. And for probably the past 18 years, I've worked in education, and so I've mentored students throughout Volusia County, East and West Side.
Wow.
Yeah, I do live on the West Side, in Orange City now, new homeowner.
Yeah.
But I lived in DeLand before, and I've worked at like Mainland and Taylor High, and I've just really been working in our communities.
Yeah.
And so I've done that for years, and so my passion didn't really start with fashion. I mean, I love clothes, I love shoes, right? I love jewelry and a little bling. But what I actually started developing a passion for is empowering our kids and women in our community.
Yeah.
And so I'm an only child, but when I get in a room with folks, I just get like rejuvenated all over again.
Yeah.
And so over the years, I kind of just developed that, and I wanted women to have that same feeling, right? That feeling of empowerment and that feeling of I'm special and, it's all about me and it's okay. And so I did that, and I still continue to do that. I do other active work in the community I'm in a sorority, Delta Sigma Theta sorority. I'm also an Eastern Star with Majesty 565.
My goodness.
Yeah, so I'm there, like in different pockets. I mean, there are times that I'm off, but most of the times I try to stay on. And so modeling, what happened is one day I woke up, I was in Atlanta, and I was getting ready I was at a conference, and I think I was going to present. And I said, you know what, I've always wanted to model, and I've always wanted to be in a pageant. And so I told myself, so what if you're in your late 30s? So what if you've never done that? You have no rhythm, you don't hear beats. You still should be able to do it. And so that was the first time. My son had just started my Facebook page.
Oh.
And that was the first first time, and I probably had like 7 friends.
I got you.
Right, I didn't even know how to use it. So I actually decided to utilize social media with purpose, and I started typing in pageants and modeling and all these things, and I met, her name is Auntie, she's one of my mentors in modeling, but Omega Mother still. And I said to her, oh, I see you're in a pageant. I want to do it too. I didn't even know what that meant, but I wanted to be a part of it. And so it became a passion not just for myself, but I wanted others who may have been sitting around and said, I'm not, I'm not small enough. My teeth aren't wide enough. My hair is not long enough. That's not a place for me. I did those things for those folks.
Wow.
Right? And so that's why I started. So in the last year and a half, I've been doing plus size modeling, more with the photo shoots and runway. I take a mean picture, but I don't have a mean one. So I love when people do, because I don't. So I just wanted, and I wanted people to know that, like, I may not even walk straight when I'm going down the runway. I'm not perfect by any means, but I'm perfectly made for me. And so that's
perfectly made for me.
I think that's important. And so so that's how that started. I haven't been doing it as much just because I've just been empowering other women to do it more, and get in front of a camera, smile at yourself, take selfies. It is okay. Get a selfie stick. But that's where I've been, and so that's really where my passion lies. I do have a 20-year-old son.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, just a handsome gentleman.
Yes,
handsome gentleman, yeah. But sometimes. But I just love him to death. Everyone knows that, right? Like, when do you let go? Because you always see that baby. But I know he's not a baby anymore. But Devin Cameron, yeah, my one and only son. So yeah, so that's really who I am.
Wow.
Right? I love education. I love promoting education. Right now we're talking about, are you for ed? Are you for public education? What's going on in our schools? Are we taking care of our kids to the best of our ability? Are we taking care of our educators that are helping the kids, and our administrators and everyone? And so I have a passion for people.
Now,
basically,
I want to know about all that education, all those degrees. When you were growing up, did you know you wanted to go to college? Did you know what you wanted to study? Did you stumble upon college? Did you stumble upon your career?
Right.
How does somebody grow up and say, I want to help other families that need mental health counseling?
And as an only child, you definitely don't. You think all about me. Well, I did. Everyone doesn't. Yeah, so just to give a little more background, I stem from Jamaican-born parents, right, who met. They've been together since they were 14 and 17. True love story. They met, they left Jamaica. They didn't know each other in Jamaica at all, and they met in Stamford, Connecticut, where I was born.
Wow.
Right at that age.
Wow.
And I remember, they'll probably get me for this, but no, they won't, because they know I talk all the time. I was writing a paper for my one of my courses when I was working on my master's, and I asked my father, like, how did you know, like, Mom, like, how does that come about? Because I don't do that part well, I'm assuming, but they just make it look so easy. And he said he told her, when they were maybe 16 and 17, that he would take care of her forever.
Jesus.
And he has.
How does a 16-year-old man know that? Maybe it's growing up in Jamaica, because I don't think you men in the U.S., if y'all figured that, maybe every U.S.-born, young man needs to go to Jamaica and train
I don't
somebody.
know, and it doesn't happen everywhere. I'm telling you, my father is like, I put him here. I put both my parents here, but
still,
for a man, you want your son to grow up to be like your dad, because he's that type of guy.
Wow.
So he was in the military, so we traveled everywhere. I graduated high school in Germany. I was telling you that my best friend from Germany, who lives in Texas now, will be here next weekend for the show. So I'm excited. So we traveled everywhere. And in fact, when I was graduating, I went to my parents and said I'd like to register for college. And we had a conversation about, why so soon? Like, don't you love this country? Because, we're in Germany. Like, why wouldn't you want to be there? And I said, no, but I think everyone's, like, going to school now. I see them filling out papers and stuff. Aren't you supposed to do that, right? Like, I had a pretty good GPA. I loved school, but I had no clue, like, how I was going to do anything. I wasn't going to pay for anything. And I remember only sending one application, and that was to Bethune-Cookman. I only sent the one application. I sent it to Bethune-Cookman because right before Germany, the last place I lived was Florida for 3 months.
Wow.
And that's the college I remembered.
Wow.
Didn't know about historically black college, didn't know about anything besides the fact that I liked Bethune-Cookman when we passed it, right?
Yeah.
On international speaking.
I'm that way now. I'm like, look at that campus.
Yeah, right.
Look at the dorm. Oh, my niece is 2. Let me sign her up now.
Right.
I'm ready. I like it.
Something about it. And so I just felt that energy. And you know, you think about the 90s, I didn't know how to do any of that stuff. My parents hadn't graduated. I mean, they're the most brilliant people that I know. I tell them all the time, they're the most brilliant. My father has since graduated from college. But I mean, he spent 20 years serving our country. So, you know, my mom supporting the family, like all these years.
But they didn't grow up saying, when you turn 18, you're going to college.
They didn't do what I said to my son.
Wow.
It never happened that way.
Wow.
And so they had to sign my papers because when you're overseas, military, all of that, sign off so I could leave the country.
Yeah.
And I left and I came here with my suitcases. They delivered my furniture later. Yeah, and I started Bethune-Cookman. Now, I initially wanted to be an attorney. I knew that part. I didn't know how I was going to get there. I wanted to write lots of books, make lots of money. That was one thing. I didn't know what order this was going to happen, but I was going to write lots of books, make lots of money, and then later I was going to defend people. Like,
wow.
I don't know what order that was going to take place or how I was going to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so neither of those things happened. I did write lots of books. I wrote a chapter in a book.
Okay, I was about to say
Motherhood Diaries too. I with Rashonda Tate Billingsley and Victoria Christopher Murray with their more shout outs with their Brown Girls Publishing. But no, I wrote a chapter and it's published. But in my head, I would have written several. My major at Bethune-Cookman was English, and I had said to my advisor, she said, well, what will you be doing? And I said, oh, I'm going to write lots of books and make lots of money, because I changed my major from history pre-law. And she said, I don't think, and this is Dr. Duncan, love her, since retired, she said, but you have a child, because I had a 2-year-old. I was graduating with my son. He was 2 years old. She said, I don't think that's the best idea, Primrose. Let's think this through.
Something a little.
And she sparked my interest in education.
Good.
And I went
not to say you don't need to be an entrepreneur, you need a 9-to-5. That's what we tell a lot of our kids. You need trade school so you can get a job. You need college so you can get a job. She wasn't discouraging you
at all.
She just wanted you to rethink some things.
And I had more responsibility. I had a child. So, you know, it was bigger where I guess if that hadn't taken place, I could have kind of just trial and error, but you can't do that when you're raising a child, and he needed more than that, and he deserved more than that. So I changed all of it, and I became an educator. Yeah, and then I always listen to those who have come before me. So like probably 4 years in education. I taught English, loved it, loved the students. Some of my students will be in the fashion show that we'll talk about later, so I'm excited, but some of their children. So I loved it, but I started getting that itch, and people were coming to me, and they wanted to talk to me, and they wanted, you know, there was just so much that was going on, more than just Romeo and Juliet. Right? So I'm teaching Romeo and Juliet, and I'm teaching Oedipus, and I'm teaching everything, teaching my heart out, but there was so much more going on in a child's life that I felt, well, maybe. And so actually I was approached by one of the senior guidance counselors who said, Primrose, you'd make an absolute great guidance counselor.
Really?
And she said it to me. She said, I think you should go to Stetson University. I said, Ms. Hostrand, I don't know how I would pay for Stetson University, but thank you. That sounds nice. But I'll probably just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And they actually had a grant that year where you could have one free class. And I went to the school, and I took that course, and I was hooked. And I earned my master's from Stetson in counseling and family therapy.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I later went on for my doctorate.
But still, look at God. The way He ordered your footsteps. Y'all drove past Bethune-Cookman, and that's where you decided to go.
I don't know when.
Somebody said, try Stetson, and they just happened to have free money.
That semester, not later.
Right,
but that semester, and that was enough for me.
Right. Nobody discouraged you from living your dream. They just added something extra so that you could survive long enough to see your dream fulfilled.
Yeah.
God will order your footsteps to where you're supposed to be when
you're supposed
no
to.
matter if your parents tell you you got to go to college, if they fill out the application or don't know what to do, he just showed you that other people were filling out their applications, and that's what you think.
And that's what I did. And in fact, on that story, the other part of it is I never received the acceptance letter. I don't know where it went.
They delivered your furniture and everything, and you never got the letter.
I never got an acceptance letter. So I actually left the country. I showed up in Daytona.
Jesus.
I asked for someone to give me a ride to the school. And I showed up in the line. Right. I didn't have anything. And my furniture didn't get here for 3 months. And so I got in the line and I said, is my name on the list? Those people laughed. I didn't know this is not what you're supposed to do, but this is what I did. And the rest is history. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's my foundation really is from, Bethune.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break because I want to hear more about everything because I've been waiting for this conversation. But don't go anywhere, you guys. We'll be back with more of Angie BEE Presents in just a minute. Hey there, family, we're back with more of Angie BEE Presents. Today we are in our meeting space at the Daytona Beach Salvation Army at 1555 LPGA Boulevard. Shout out to Pastor Teddy and Marketing Director Kimberly Long and the Majors because they allow us to be here on Thursday nights. We're here from 5:30 to 7 with our surgical weight loss support group. And during the support group, we all talk to each other about people that are interested in having weight loss surgery, people like me that have had weight loss surgery. I lost 200 pounds during the past 4 years after having the gastric bypass. And we deal with a lot of things, body self-image. I still have issues because I got all this skin, you know, flabbing and stuff. And we look to get help from people like Primrose that help people with mental health issues. We look for folks like that. But some people don't want to approach people that can help you with mental health issues because we don't want you to think we're crazy. But so during the support group, we try to invite different people to come out so that they can get to know you. They can get to know that there are foundations that are important to you, that you are a business owner, that you are a mother, that you have college degrees. You're not just figuring us out and what issues we have with our mothers because we talk with our hands. So this is why it's important for Primrose to be here during our surgical weight loss support group because we really need to get out and participate in activities like the one you have coming up. Now, I love what you said earlier about, you know, you're a little uncoordinated. You and I would be in the corner dancing together, our own little dance, you know. Don't ask me to do the wobble or the Cupid shuffle. I just would step on myself. But you do a mean portrait, just don't ask you to do the runway. You know, I'll MC a fashion show, but don't ask me to wear shoes. I'm like Patti LaBelle. I'm up there barefoot. You know, it's just that we have our limitations, and that's what we need to learn in our surgical weight loss support groups, that you still are good enough for you. And that's good enough for other people. But now, we're going to talk about your fashion show, but now I want to know about your career in Mary Kay. What got you excited about Mary Kay, and how did you learn about the Mary Kay Ash Charitable Foundation?
Okay, so first off, today I got my email that says 1 year anniversary.
Oh,
Yay!
congratulations!
So yeah,
Congratulations!
really excited about that. And I will tell you, I never thought I would be a Mary Kay beauty consultant. I never thought that fit because, you know, like you mentioned, so if someone hears, oh, well, Dr. Cameron, she's selling lipstick and eyeshadow
And driving pink up?
yeah, you're not making enough. There's something wrong with Dr. Cameron. She needs a therapist. So, you know, you think about those things, and I moved away from whatever society looked at as that image, right? And I really just try with the Mary Kay to share with others that this can be you. It is owning your own business, right? It's not only pink Cadillacs. I mean, some folks have, you know, the black cards. I mean, there's just so many things that go into that.
Right.
I don't have that. I actually, what I love about Mary Kay is the fact that it can get women in the same room feeling just in a room full of no judgment, right? Like, I love that feeling. And you think about your face is naked.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
Wash your face off.
Wash your face off.
Take it off. Put it on.
Everything.
Yeah.
So you are coming with other women, and you're coming together, and you're looking at your beauty in different ways that you've never looked at it before. And so there's nothing like, you know, hosting a party with 4 or 5 women, and we're all talking the same language. And the languages, and the first thing I always ask that the guests do is look at yourself. Just take a look at yourself. You are beautiful. Everything else is not required. We do it because we want to, not because we have to.
I know young ladies that say they don't even look at their face in the mirror.
At all.
From the neck down because of their nose and their lips and their eyes. And so when I talk to them about, well, let's put on some eyeshadow, oh, I wouldn't even know how to start or where because I don't look at my face in the mirror. So you said that's the first thing you do with them?
The first thing I do with them. For those who wear makeup all the time, they don't look at their face bare, right? They know, they automatically can put on foundation and not even look, right? Because they want to cover up whatever that God has already given them. And so we start, you know, we start from there. But Mary Kay created that. You know, created that foundation for all types of women. I may not look like that woman that would know how, you know, I'm not a makeup artist, right? But I am able to share with women how to take care of yourself, how to take care of your skin, how to produce what you want to see because no one has to define it for you.
Wow.
And Mary Kay has done that for me.
And look at that, even as and we'll get into the charitable foundation, but look at that concept when it applies to people who are considering losing weight, trying to achieve a healthy lifestyle by losing some weight. All of that is kind of connected.
It is.
Because we go through skincare issues when we're losing weight. We go through hair loss issues. We go through our fingernails are weird because our bodies are changing. And if you can't look at yourself in the mirror while you're changing, you still are kind of...
So that's where the empowering of women, right? So everything changes, and that should include your thought process. Like, no one has to define that for you, right? You don't have to explain every time, well, I lost weight and this is why this looks like that, or this happened and this is why this looks. Now you can, because there's people who are comfortable with that level of transparency, but you don't have to.
I got you.
Like, you don't have to.
Like my daughter told me, Mommy, we're not looking at you that hard.
Right. So, our children are the best ones to tell us, right?
My goodness. So tell me about the foundation.
Okay, so, which leads to the fashion show, right? So one of the areas when we're talking about empowering women, we're talking about the increased number of domestic violence issues in our community, abroad, just everywhere. What I love about Mary Kay is that, number one, there is a foundation, right? And so the portion of the proceeds will be able to go to the Foundation for Domestic Abuse Awareness. And what better way than through Mary Kay, right? When we're meeting with those women, we're meeting with the women struggling with self-esteem, we're meeting with the women who are keeping their voices unheard or not speaking at all because of the issues that they're in. And so this gives them another opportunity, and the funds is used directly for that.
I have to give another shout out. We've been giving shout outs all day. I have to give a shout out to Help Now, the Kissimmee, Florida domestic violence
I think I've
shelter.
heard that, yeah.
Because, well, they're a sister property to Harbor House, which is in Orlando. But when my daughters and I went to go live at Help Now in order to transition away from my abusive ex-husband, one of the first things, it's different enough being in a shelter with only the clothes on your back, and somebody will donate a pair of jeans or a purse or something, and you're grateful. But I remember there was a day where a pink box got delivered, and all the women could forage through the box to see what they needed, and it was a ton of Mary Kay samples and Mary Kay skincare, and being a former Mary Kay beauty consultant, I remember packaging up stuff and saying, okay, we're going to donate this, and then to be on the other end to receive it. And then my girls had literally grown up playing in mommy's sample makeup. So when they got in the box, they were like, oh, here, and they were doing makeovers on all the other residents. But I was like, oh my God, anybody that's doing anything for the Mary Kay Ash Charitable Foundation, I want to be a part of it. I want to help any way I can, because I know how important it is for Mary Kay beauty consultants to love on each other and take care of each other.
Of course.
We're like a sorority.
We are.
And a ministry combined. So we're going to take another quick break, and then I want you to tell me all about the fashion show, the Out of the Box. I'll be back.
Hey there, family. It's your girl, Angie BEE, your host of the hottest home hotspot worldwide. And Angie BEE is proud to present the concert that you don't want to miss.
It's time for me to get serious and stand up and man up and let the devil know I'm not a punk.
Day, things don't stay the same. Know that God has made a way through His love.
Genesis 2:18, where it all began before she stepped on the scene. Woman, what a beautiful name. Birth of man's ribs to help share the pain.
It's the tour that Angie BEE presents. Give us a call at 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519. It's time for you to book the tour that Angie BEE presents. Y'all get ready, because we coming. Life are raging. Sometimes we have to be broken down so that we can be rebuilt into what we're actually meant to be. When the struggle to climb becomes just too heavy, and when God's voice becomes silent in your ear. Just hold on because a queen is about to emerge. The new book by the Queen Bee is entitled Last Week I Wanted to Die, published by True Soul Publishing, an umbrella for survivors. The revealing story of suicide, pain, and depression. The Queen Bee, Angie BEE, has emerged as a business owner, ministry leader, and a faithful child of God. This story is just the beginning. Last Week I Wanted to Die, on sale now at thequeenbee.com.
Hey there, family, we're back. We've been giving shout outs all day, so shout out to Barty for doing double duty today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, darling. Thank you, darling. And shout out to Pastor Alexa and her daughter, Cynthia Soto, and the Jarique Fashion Show. They just had their debut fashion show. Has it been two weeks ago? And they allowed me to be in the back with some of the models while they were getting dressed, and that was like the closest I've ever been to the glamorous world you live in, with changing clothes and changing hair. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. But tell me about the Out of the Box fashion show. Who decided on it, and I mean, where did the concept come from? Tell me about it.
So that's the beautiful part, right? So it is exactly what it said it is, out of the box. Right, and so after I mentioned earlier about modeling for the last year and a half, and that's out of the box. Like, why is the almost 40-year-old plus-size person teaches graduate courses in a fashion show? Like, where did that come from? Yeah. And so the more that I worked with the ladies in fashion and the designers, I said, wow, this industry is beautiful. There are beautiful people. There are beautiful lives to be made. That stemmed from fashion, right? And so it was more than just the clothing that I wanted to tap into. I wanted to tap into, or assist in tapping into, people's lives and what goes on in our community. And so this Out of the Box fashion show, it's myself, Cameron Enterprises, Deliverance Outreach Ministry, shout out to Pastor Alicia Monroe, and Missy's First Impression Hair Salon, Missy and Kimmy. So I approached them and said, hey, I have this great idea, and they went for it. And so we've been running now for months. I run monthly image clinics at the First Impression Hair Salon, and that's where Mary Kay ties in again, and we're talking to women, we're empowering them, talking to them about self-esteem issues, things that they want to change and all of that. And so we said to them, we want regular folks. Regular folks. Right. I have some of my former students' children in the fashion show. Like they're gracing me with their children in the show. And so we have community folks. It's diverse as all outdoors, which is representative of our community. Right. It's folks that may not, if you were to open a magazine that said model, then maybe society would say, oh no, what are they? I wouldn't belong in there. Everyone belongs in the Out of the Box fashion show. And then the other thing which I love, and so this is where the industry, it's like Mary Kay, it's like everything that I do where people show love. When I called out for the designers from Jacksonville and Tampa, El Posh Style and BE Designs out of Tampa, and I asked them to be a part of the show, they said sure. One of the designers calls me Giggles because I walk down and giggle. But yeah, so they said sure, and so we'll have we'll have like 11 or 12 designers. We have a local boutique that will be represented. We have Impact with Auntie be represented. I mean, we have plus-size models. We have mainstream. It will be out of the box. We're utilizing the space in the Chisholm Center. Thank you, Deland. Okay. Which is beautiful. And so folks will come in, and that was one of the things. People, as they're looking at my Facebook page, and they're saying, she's doing that? But I was doing it in Atlanta, in Tampa, in Jacksonville. And they said, why can't we bring it home? Why can't we bring it home? So we brought it home, Volusia County. We brought it home. And so it's really, really exciting. We have vendors that will be there. We have we just confirmed Island Flavor as one of the food vendors. Jerk chicken? Jerk chicken. I was just in Jamaica like last week, right? So jerk chicken, I mean rice and peas. So we have the food vendors. Wow. We have Tracy Lynn Jewelry will be present. We have some other clothing designers that will be present. So we have vendors that will be there. It just will be a good, heart-filled and heartwarming show where all folks representative can just feel good about self, right, and then get a little fashionable.
And I like what you said about all different shapes and sizes, because Cynthia Soto, who of course just turned 18 and debuted her fashion line, and I don't want to quote, but she said that she wanted her models to be all different sizes and shapes, so any young girl can feel fashionable and stylish and feel like they can be on the runway no matter what. That's an anointing right there. Most teenagers ain't thinking about what the other teenager is going to feel like wearing her designs. And so that really just fit in well. I'm looking forward to seeing the other designers and meeting the vendors. I love me some Tracy Lynn jewelry. I really do. So that's going to be fun.
Shout out Tanya Quarterman.
Now, if somebody wants to be a vendor, how can they register to be a vendor?
Yeah, so my Facebook page is Primrose Cameron, or they can send me an email, primrosec@msn.com, and we can go from there.
And now, are there any sponsorship opportunities available, and what could they get? Because I know that the tour that Angie BEE Presents is a sponsor. We've been helping to get the word out, and on that first flyer, I know you got a couple of first flyer logos there, so we'll show you that. I know that Angie BEE and Barty Productions are going to come in and shoot everything.
Right, with their DVDs, right.
So that's
excited about that, right.
If you want to order a DVD, it'll be $20 in advance. Contact Primrose. If you wait till that night, it's going to be $25 to order it. But that
sneak peeks and interviews and all of that, right.
So we said that we'd feature your sponsors in the DVD with a quick interview. And
one of our main sponsors, Bethune Grill. Shout out to Bethune Grill, thanking them, very much, because that's in Daytona, we're in DeLand, but I have Bethune Grill all the time. I love Bethune Grill. So we still are looking for sponsors to assist with the rest of the production. And anyone because you've worked in shows and assisted with them, all it takes, right? The models giving up their time, the designers, the rehearsals. Every Monday they've been coming faithfully. We had some of the models coming from Kissimmee. Our modeling coach, Auntie, is coming from Lakeland. And so it's a lot. Like, all of you is given to this show, and we just want to be able to share that with you. So sponsors, please just assist with everything, rental services, other fees, everything that goes on. But it's a community affair, and so if you're a part of the community and you're want to help with the cause, then you'll call me.
Now, it's Saturday, April 18th,
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Tickets are
$10.
$10. Okay.
$10. 150 seats. So you don't want to miss that seat.
And so if somebody is somewhere and they're seeing this and they can't be there, they can just buy a ticket and you can donate it to somebody, right?
Definitely.
So the tickets are on sale where? Event?
Yeah, Eventbrite, the tickets, Out of the Box Fashion Show, they're on Eventbrite, and also locally we have them. And so if you're on my Facebook page, or Pastor Alicia Monroe, or Mitzi's First Impression Hair Salon on New York Avenue, then they definitely can connect. So we're everywhere. And we're in Daytona too, Elizabeth Harkness and Connie Mitchell.
And we'll do something extra special. If somebody wants to be like a $50 sponsor, just make a donation through Eventbrite. We'll be sure to feature them in the DVD. Their closing credits and their logo and their contact information. So that way everybody in the audience can go home knowing that these were the sponsors. Tell us your contact information. Primrose C at what's your
MSN.com.
MSN.com. And on Facebook, you're Primrose Cameron.
Yeah.
And there's also a Cameron Enterprises on Facebook?
Yeah, Cameron Enterprises, and
I can't remember. I'm like, what's Primrose doing?
Yeah, and Cameron Enterprises is really, it's a business in itself, only about the business of people, right? And so Cameron Enterprises falls under my mentoring, my image clinics, the fashion show, right? No money is coming to us. It's not payment. Right? It's really just helping the community. And so if you see Cameron Enterprises, and you'll see my picture, then yeah, that's me. And I also have Woman to Woman. I've been running a book club for 9 years now for the same purpose, right? Getting women together, all shapes, all sizes, all levels of thought.
To read a book?
To read a book.
I don't have to give you my book so they can talk about it.
Yeah, we would. Yeah, definitely.
Thanks.
And so we've been doing that 9 or 10, I believe this year is our 10th year anniversary. And And so woman to woman, it just kind of fell in my lap. It was one of those things, right? And so mentoring girls, I do want to work towards that more. I've been asked a couple times. We're looking at some ways to continue to mentor our young girls in the community. And so that all falls under Cameron Enterprises.
Cool.
Yeah. And my other email, I was just thinking about it, fashionforwardprimrose@gmail.com. So if you're looking for me.
Shout out to the Deltas. We expect to see lots of red and white in the audience.
Right.
I don't know what color the Eastern Stars wear, but shout out to y'all with stars on. And I just want to challenge everybody that, just come out and be there. Because you may not be into the catwalk and fashion, but your presence is going to help a foundation where women are being blessed. I want to thank you for being a part of the tour that Angie BEE Presents. People still talk about Dr. Cameron sharing during the Moms of Ministry workshop. The tour is year-round, so we're looking forward to you coming back. You can follow the tour that Angie BEE Presents on Facebook and find Angie BEE RT Productions on Facebook, and just stay in touch with us because we're fashionable and we're moving forward.
They're on the move. They're on the move.
Thank you for being here. If it is the Lord's will, we will be here with you on the next day and the day after that and the day after that, if it's the Lord's will. I ask that you keep our loved ones in prayer. Funeral arrangements are being made each and every day, and we never know. Marriages are breaking up each and every day. We never know. Kids are following the wrong people each and every day. But if it's the Lord's will, we will continue to be here on the next day and the next day, showing love and hugs and the gospel of Jesus Christ as often as we can. Thanks, family. God bless.